Hello everyone. This is the second part of the review on the Takom KV-5. In the previous review, we went through the instruction manual, and I point out the mistakes in the instruction manual and also the steps that we need to pay attention to if we want to build the kit. In this video, I'll talk about some issues I'm having with this kit, and I will also provide some suggestions on how to address them. Towards the end of the video, I'll share with you my final thoughts about this Takom KV-5, as well as my recommendations. So, hope this video will be helpful and informational. The biggest problem of this kit is the fit of many parts, especially the drive system. So first of all, the fit between these two drive sprocket pieces is terrible. You may need to fill, actually. Good news is that there's only two of them. Bad news is the roll wheels. The fit of the roll wheel pieces, there are 5 pieces. The problem is between A3, A4. That's where the problem is. The fit is kind of, I would say, hit and miss, and it is bad. It is very often uneven. So these two pieces, when you put them together, it could be uneven. On one side, the gap is bigger. On the other side, the gap is smaller. So you need to pay extra attention when you build this part. Make sure that these two pieces are connected even, and this so make sure the gaps between those two roll wheel pieces is the same. This is very important. Also, the fit between the whole assembly to the whole of the body, that there is not very good. The problem is that if you look at, let's look at this. So here, that's where the suspension arms connects to the hull. And this part, when you connect this to the hull, there's no pin to fix that properly, as many other brands do. Other brands like Tamiya, when they are dealing with the same type of suspension, there will be a additional pin somewhere, maybe here, so that the arms are fixed in position. Unfortunately, you don't have that for this kit. So you need to take extra care, pay attention to make sure the arms line up straight and at the same angle. This is to make sure that all the wheels, after we put them on, will be touching the ground evenly. And that's also the reason I recommend you to do it differently than the instruction manual. Instead of putting this part on, attach this to the wheels, you attach the arms to the suspension arms to the hull first. And then after you make sure that all the arms are properly attached and they are all of the same height, then you attach the wheels. And also when you attach the wheels, you need to make sure that to do it properly, so that all the wheels are, especially those gaps, are aligned perfectly. I never had to worry about this when I built other kits, but this is, well, probably the first time I had this problem. So you need to make sure those gaps align properly. You may want to use a ruler between the gaps to make sure that they are on the same line. Otherwise, you may have problem attaching the tracks to the wheels. So that's a major problem. You want to make sure that the return rollers, the same story. You want to attach the suspension arms, return rollers first, and then when you attach the return rollers, make sure that the gaps are lined up perfectly. Don't attach those rollers to the suspension arms first and then attach the whole thing to the hull. If you do that, because of feet, some of those the holes of the return rollers are bigger, some of them are smaller. So some of the return rollers are closer to the hull. The inside gaps may not be properly aligned. That will give you tons of trouble when you attach the track, which itself is a big project. So this is another issue regarding the suspension and wheels. Another problem is that the drive sprocket, the teeth of the drive sprocket, they don't work with the track perfectly. So in my case, I had to sand the teeth down a little bit before I can force the teeth into the track. I don't know if you can see that, maybe not very clear, but you have to force those in. Otherwise, the gaps in the tracks are not big enough to put the teeth in. If you don't do that, the track is not perfectly attached to the drive wheel. At least it's not going to be very realistic. So that's something to pay attention to. Additionally, yes, there's more problem, is the idler wheel. The idler wheel, if you look at the front, you see that the tracks on the front, it's like sticking outside of the fender. This I don't think this should be the case. The track should be aligned with the outside edge of the fender. So the reason we have this problem is that the gap here, anyway, the idler wheel is not close enough to the hole. So that means you probably, when you attach the idler wheel to the suspension arm, you want to make the hole bigger so that this part get closer to the arm. So that will eventually brings the track closer to the body, so that it's not gonna sticking outside of the fender. So that's another thing to pay attention to. Also, I mentioned that the side skirt, there's gonna be a gap, so you have to fill. The reason I put the spare track here is to cover the fill, because the fill may not look perfect. So I put the track here just to cover up the fill. That's the biggest problem encountered when building this kit. I spent most of the time just to make this part work. The rest of the build is kind of, it's okay, not too bad. If I put this closer, well, it just takes some time. There are, for example, so many roll wheels. Each roll wheel has many parts. You have to cut, clean, sand. That's a lot of work. This is a big tank. If you counting the roll wheels, you will see that it has more roll wheels than even KV-2. So I think another complaint about this kit is it doesn't have any details on the bottom. So the bottom is nothing. I guess it's not a big deal for a tank that was never built, so don't bother the details on the bottom. You cannot see it anyway. Oh, there's no tow cable, so that's Well, that's not a deal breaker. I just want to point this out. No tow cable. The figure, like I said, it was. I don't feel it matches the style of the tank. So, well, it's a blueprint tank anyway. So I guess that's legit. Yeah, I have been complaining about this tank a lot, but the tank is well, there's some good things about this. I like the look of this tank. See this, it looks I think it looks great. Although I need to point out that I did use put some putty on the gun mantle as well as the front face of the turret to simulate the casting mantle and the turret front. And also look at the rivet. See the rivet. Those are the what the final steps is talking about. You cut those small parts, you put those rivets on. So that I think that looks pretty cool. And also, I think some of the weld beads and some of the cut marks, they look good as well. So that's about this this vehicle, KV-5. My final thoughts are, it is I feel that like this is a Takom's early attempt to design a Soviet super heavy tank. Takom definitely learned the lesson, and then when they have the other Takom super Soviet heavy tanks like the SMK, many of the issues I mentioned on the wheels, the tracks, many of the issues has been fixed. Other than that, yes, there are a lot of issues with this kit. I haven't mentioned about the flashes, seam lines. There's a lot of flashes and seam lines to deal with. It will take a lot of time if you want to build this kit properly. Well, I definitely would not recommend this for beginners. It will be a good addition to your collection if you're interested in this particular vehicle. That's the reason I bought this kit. For experienced model builders, it can turn out to be a very impressive demo piece. To me, I didn't enjoy building it. At times, I was even cursing it. But in the end, I really like how it turned out. It is a very nice looking tank. You can put it alongside. I put it alongside my KV-2, IS-2, and you can really see how massive this tank is. Now let's move the tank to the studio and show you some beauty shots. So, my recommendation of this kit is you buy it if either this kit is on sale, or if you are a huge fan of KV-5 like I am. So here it is, the mighty KV-5. Hope you find this video helpful and informational. If yes, please like and subscribe. If no, please leave your comments below. It will help this channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.